Hello, and welcome to another edition of Long Beach Treasures. I'm your host, Harvey Keller. Today we're going to be visiting the Senior Center here in Long Beach, and I have two people who are going to take me on a tour, Brenda and Shelley. So would you come in and tell me something about the Senior Center?
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome, Harvey. How are you?
This is Shelley and this is Brenda.
Yes. Hello.
How do you have to be over a certain age to be a member here?
No, not at all. Well, you don't have to be a member, is what I mean. You have to be 50 or older than that. And so we serve a population of from 50 to over 100.
And you're open every day?
Monday through Saturday. Monday through Friday we have staff on duty and structured as well as drop-in programs. And on Saturdays we have drop-in program.
I guess I should ask you what your title is.
I'm the supervisor of the Long Beach Senior Center.
And Brenda, you are?
I am the rec assistant to Shelley.
Oh, okay. Would the two of you take me and show me some of what you have here?
Oh, certainly.
I see a library here.
Yes.
Yes, we'd love to take you
Yes.
on a tour.
A tour. We primarily work to provide services and programs for seniors who are active and mobile. And so what you'll see here is a majority of our constituents are active and mobile, and that's a real key part. This is our library. This is Candace, our volunteer, and we have a really great assortment. It's small but mighty is what I like to say. An assortment of books from hardback to softback, and all of this is free. People can check out the hardback books, and some of them are large print. And there's an exchange program that we do with the pocket books. And then we have magazines, as you can see, and we have
VCRs too.
and books on tape, and that's right, and videos and that kind of thing. We also, the books on tape come from the Braille Institute, and we just have a real lot of fun things in here. And this is kind of a quiet place for people.
And I'm sure it's well used.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This right here is our front desk, our reception area, and this is our volunteer, Robert. And he normally works in our information assistance program office, but today, right now, while the other receptionist is on a break, he's here.
Now the gift shop, is that new or used merchandise?
Well, it's
Both?
both, Harvey. We have a lot of things that are made by senior citizens. They come in and they bring their things in and put them on consignment. And then we have some slightly gently used items as well. And so you'll see a lot of handicrafts, and it's fun, and it's a way for seniors to make a little extra pocket cash.
Oh, if they bring stuff in and sell it, they get the profit?
They get 75% of it.
Oh.
And this is a volunteer-run program here. So the volunteers, who do we have up here? There's Helen Hirsch and Noreen Delisle. There she is in the back. So you can see we're doing a lot of business today.
I know. I was
and
thinking
that's
there's
kind
a lot of
normal.
browsers.
Yeah. So we're prepared with our Easter decorations for the holiday, and that's normal. Every holiday they change the decor.
And I see an activity room.
Yes, this activity room, this is one of several, and this is primarily used for watching videos, playing chess and checkers, and we have a whole constituency who likes to come in here and watch programs on the television on a normal basis.
Big screen
It's a chat
TV.
Yes, and it's a chat room too.
Oh. I'm surprised there's a lot of people here, aren't there?
We have approximately 750 to 1,000 people unduplicated who use the center every week. And over here we have our information referral and assistance area, and we have a lot of good volunteers and some senior citizen job trainees that run this center.
Assistant, is that for people who may need help with their utility bills?
That's exactly right. There are certain forms like utility rebates and exemptions and homeowners and renters assistance and that kind of thing. People can bring those in or come and receive them here and then get help filling them out. They also, the volunteers and the staff in here, also answer an inordinate amount of questions for people, anything that seniors can come up with, problems, issues that they have. And then there's counseling services here. We have financial counseling, we have a notary public, and Brenda, what else do we have in there? Lots of things.
Yes, we do. We also have a Betsetic that comes in, and we also have the yes, that's the legal, and also we have the food stamp program that assists seniors.
And I see you have a tour department here. And
That's right, Golden Tours.
I've been on some of them.
Oh, good.
The last one was up to the Reagan Library.
You enjoyed that,
I
huh?
did, to see Air Force One, and you
Yeah.
have one going up to the Getty Museum very shortly that I would like also to take.
Oh, yes.
So-
We have, Golden Tours has been with us almost from the beginning of the centers being established. And they are a nonprofit organization that's housed here. And they, as you can see, they provide a lot of different kinds of trips for the seniors.
Now, is there a minimum age for people to be able to?
55.
55. 55 for everything?
No. The center is open to people who are 50 and above. The certain things like Golden Tours is 55. However, if you're a 55-year-old and you want to take your daughter or son with you, you can do that. So people are welcome to have folks that are younger to join them. It's just that the person signing up has to be 55. And then further down here, we have our auditorium. And as you can see, we try to make the hallways and the social areas as pleasant as possible.
Okay, before we go any further, let's stop in here and listen to the big band because they do a great job and we can maybe hear a vocal or two. right, this is the conductor here. This is Glenn. Glenn, may I ask how old you are?
I'm a young 93.
Well, that's good. Now, how long have you been conducting?
Oh, I guess maybe about 20 years.
Were you, did you play professionally?
You know, it's kind of a long story. My mother was an excellent pianist. If you didn't like it where it was, she'd put it where you wanted. So they gave me piano lessons for 2 years. I never got beyond the scales. I could not cope with that instrument. So in grammar school, they put me on a mellophone. And then in junior high, they switched me to the French horn. I played the French horn in junior high and high school. Then after I graduated, I quit playing. The horn was a combination deal and expensive, so it was just too good to sit there, so they sold it. So then I'm going downtown and I see a mellophone, not a mellophone, but an alto horn, and for $65 at Maury's Music. And so I squandered my money. Then I found out that you can't keep it in tune. So from there on, I switched to the baritone and also the valve trombone.
Now, is this an all-volunteer band?
Yes, it's all volunteer. We have anywhere from 12 to 15 members that show up to play.
Didn't any of them ever play professionally?
Yes, some of them have, but most of them are just like me and played for the fun of it.
Okay, you're here every Wednesday from 9 till 11?
Yes, every Wednesday we're here from 9 to 11. We have 4 books that we play out of. We've got 100 numbers in each book. Each week we take a different book, and the early birds get to pick out a number that they want us to play, and that's what you've been hearing, what the early birds wanted.
Okay, now 2 more questions. One, if somebody has some talent out there and they want to join your band, can they?
Come on in. The only thing is you have to be 50 years of age. If they're under 50 years age, I look at them like this, I say, now, you are 50 years old, aren't you? And I nod my head, and they say yes, and so then we let them play. It's not that strict, though.
All right, and if anybody has vocal aspirations and talent, can they come down and
You
sing?
betcha, we're glad to have them, and we work the audience in anything they want to do. We're here to have fun and make everybody happy.
Good. Thanks, Glenn.
Okay, it's nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Yes, this is our fitness room, and Brenda can talk to you about the pieces of equipment and the way the people work out here.
Yes, we do. This is our fitness room, and it is open to our seniors. We have a general requirement of filling out a registration form. And here they can work out for free, and they have to be at least 50 years or older. They can come in, they can stretch, they can work out. We have Al here, who is the morning staff that orientates new clients to the equipment. We do have a piece of new equipment that's coming in today, and we're very excited about that. But here, Al is on hand to assist our patrons in getting fit. Also out of here, we have fitness classes. They're not actually done here, but they're done upstairs in our ballroom floor, on our ballroom and other rooms upstairs. But Al is one of our instructors, along with our afternoon staff with Sue DeMung, who is one of our afternoon instructors as well.
You have quite a bit of equipment in here, don't you?
Yes, we do, and we're looking to get more because we are trying to meet the needs of our seniors, and so they've been requesting certain pieces of equipment, you know, and here we have leg machines. We have the bench press to work the upper torso. We also have cardiovascular machines that are kind of low impact that will, you know, really get the seniors in shape.
How do you finance the center?
The center is run by the City of Long Beach on the general fund dollars, which is tax-based. So occasionally we get donations, and we love that. We do, for instance, have the AARP volunteers come and do tax assistance from February through the middle of April. And a lot of people enjoy that service, and they come and they take part in that for free, and they give donations. And so that's a good way to donate to the center.
What's your oldest member, do you know?
We have people who are over 100 here, And I think that, I can't remember the name though, unfortunately.
How much can they bench press?
Oh dear. They usually come for lunch and for the social activities.
Speaking of lunch, I want to go check out your cafeteria.
Let's do that. Do you want to see the health clinic first, though?
Sure.
Harvey? Good. This is operated by the Department of Health and Human Services, and it is another small but very mighty program that's housed here. We have a receptionist, and then there is a nurse that's part-time who does things like blood pressures and glucose checks, and assists a podiatrist who comes in once a month. There are other services as well that are provided by her. Then we also have another program called Senior Links, which is a way for seniors to be linked to resources and services, social services that could help them in answering questions and getting the kinds of like in-home services that they might need. And that's run by a part-time nurse and a part-time social worker.
You just have everything here, don't you?
We do, we do. And we're very pleased. We're very happy to provide this. Now, the nutrition program, as I was saying, we have the county AAA provide, as it does in many, many locations, they provide a very nutritious, wonderful, balanced meal Monday through Saturday, and that's for a donation for people who are 60 and older of $1.75. You can't get a better deal anywhere. And again, I say donation. Now, we have also in here, there is a cafeteria run by staff and volunteers. And the meals and food that's purchased there is not a donation, but it is very inexpensive, and it's homemade.
Now, what would a lunch cost?
Here, as I was saying, $1.75 with the nutrition site provided by the county. It's actually through dollars funded from the Older Americans Act. And then with our cafe, you can get here a lunch maybe for $3.50 to $4.50. Very, very good hot lunch, well-rounded in both places. And you can get snacks and other things, and sandwiches made to order and things of that nature that are a little bit cheaper.
I see a lot of places set up for lunch. Do you serve that many every day?
Yes, we do. Yes. The nutrition site serves approximately 85 to 100 people every day. And then our cafe, we serve a whole lot of people here as well. And they come in.
Just to interject, they do serve lunch Monday through Saturday, as opposed to our program, which is Monday through Friday.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Harvey, another thing is that this provides people with options. Some people can't afford lunches, and this may be their only meal for the day, and so they might want to take advantage of the nutrition site. Other people might have a little extra spending money, and they would take advantage of the cafe. The nutrition site is open to people who are 60 and older. The cafe is open to people of any age, really. We welcome the public to the cafe, so anybody, adults with children, we don't discriminate. So.
Just like being uptown, you can sit and have lunch
That's
and
right.
be entertained.
That's right. Yeah, it's wonderful. Yes.
We also need to make mention of the Saturday program that we have once a month, which is the Orange County Food Bank, where we are servicing over 700 seniors and young families here on a monthly basis. And it is free to the public. The requirement for the Orange County Food Bank would be to You'd have to be at least 60 years old and have proof of income in order to qualify.
Now, when you say a food bank, is that when you give bulk food out?
Yes, absolutely. They give bulk food out, and the system is running so beautifully. We've increased our numbers in over 200 just in the time alone that I've been a part of the Orange County Food Bank.
It's very impressive here with all of the things you have and
There's more.
well, I don't know how much time. We have 3 minutes. What do you want to show me?
Well, we have a substantial arts and crafts and entertainment program here. There, as you can see over here, you've been already to see the Variety Band. That's a homegrown group. We also have the Primetime Players, who are a drama group, and they're extraordinary. They have grown in numbers and in quality, and they are now doing performances all over the city for free, and drawing crowds of 200 to 250. And then we have the Have a Heart performers, who are also wonderful and homegrown, and they do song and dance and poetry readings and things of that nature. So that's our drama and entertainment end of it, branch of it. And then we also have arts and crafts. We have drawing and painting group.
Is that upstairs?
Yes, it is.
Can we take a
yes,
trip up
we
there?
sure can. We sure can. On our way to the arts and crafts, I just want to stop by and show you our wonderful ballroom.
Wow, this is large.
Yes, it's huge and it's beautiful. We do all kinds of exercise classes here, and we hold dinner dances up here as well. We have contract classes that are dance-oriented, and just a number of wonderful things that take place here. So I wanted to make sure that you got to see this.
This is an impressive room.
Yes. We have dances, about 5 dinner dances every year, and we welcome adults and seniors. Now, our arts and crafts room, oh, I almost missed. This is our computer lab, and this is where we do the taxes. You can see we've got lots of people. Hi, folks. And we run computer classes up here in the afternoons, and we get a lot of takers.
That's what I need.
So people can learn how to use computers in their retirement.
I'm still on the rotary dial.
And then we have arts and crafts. When we finally get here, there's
Is this the Rosie O'Donnell room?
And you can see we have a lot of people up here doing their arts and crafts, and this is also a billiards area. We have wood carvers, and the Gem and Mineral Society of Long Beach is housed here. So over here under all the blue tarps are all their equipment.
Look at some of their...
And you can see in the cases the rocks and gems that the Mineral Society has. And over here in this case is the kind of things that the wonderful things the wood carvers make.
Oh, neat.
And you can see there, hi there, good morning. You can see the wonderful things they're working on. But they also use saws over here, and so you can see they have a lot of fun up here.
They must.
And then in the middle area, we have our knit and crochet group, and we also have weavers. Good morning. And we have weavers up here and sewers. We do sewing as well. And you can see a lot of people like to come and have fun with one another and enjoy one another's company. So it's,
You know,
You take them in the weaving room, it's unlocked.
no, we haven't done that.
but one thing we need to say is that we are basically run by our volunteers. We have over 143 volunteers that help us run this center. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to provide the classes that we have here. And I think they're just doing a wonderful job.
They
That's so
are.
true with most nonprofit organizations, and volunteers just sort of run the world.
Absolutely.
And we can
They're valuable.
always use more.
Absolutely.
There is a newsletter, and the newsletter is our senior post, and it has in it all the information about our special events, our social services, It has a list of all of the special events that are happening in all of our classes and activities and clubs and excursions, and then a calendar in the centerfold thing, where you can put that on your refrigerator to remind you of all the things that happen day to day.
Brenda, thank you. Shelley, thank you.
Oh, Harvey, it's been a pleasure.
I'm really glad we finally did the Senior Center. And that's our show for this time. Come back and join us again next month as we take another walk through history and uncover more Long Beach treasures. Coming right up. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Long Beach Treasures. I'm your host, Harvey Keller. Today we're going to visit a true treasure of Long Beach Polytechnic High School, the oldest school in city of Long Beach. And taking me on a tour is going to be one of the co-principals, Sean Ashley. Sean, thank you for letting us come and visit your school.
Thank you very much, Harvey.
You're a co-principal. Well, who's ultimately responsible for decision making?
Well, myself and Gwen Mack, who's the other co-principal, we divide up the responsibilities. So I have certain areas of responsibility. She has other areas of responsibility. And the ultimate decision depends on what the area is.
It works well then.
It works just fine.
Okay. And Poly was first started in 1895?
1895. It was the only school in Long Beach at that point.
And probably a few students.
Just a handful of students. The one-room schoolhouse is how it started.
And then the earthquake came in 1933 and sort of did you in?
Well, at one point, Poly was over on 8th and Long Beach Boulevard. It was in a wooden structure. That burned to the ground, as so many buildings did back then. And they rebuilt it here. And then in 1933, we had the big earthquake and knocked down everything but the auditorium.
And then they rebuilt this, and Hugh Davies was the architect. He also did the 20th Century House up in Bixby Knolls and Community Hospital.
Yeah, he was very famous. And a matter of fact, in a moment, I'll show you the administration building, which kind of is shaped as a ocean liner, as a matter of fact. So we'll take a look at that.
And I understand these pillars are from the original building here on campus in the neoclassical design.
Yeah, these stood right in front of campus. There was a big dome in front of campus that kids would walk through, and that all came tumbling down in 1933.
Why are you called the Jackrabbits?
Well, many people thought it had to do with the number of jackrabbits on campus, but what it really was, the track team was so fast back then, is that they took on the name the Jackrabbits because they were so quick. Interesting enough, our track team now is 6-time CIF champions, and so that tradition hasn't changed.
You've had some phenomenal success in your athletic departments, haven't you?
We have had incredible success, and as you may know, Sports Illustrated named Poly High School as the best high school athletic program in the nation.
Wow. What is Polytechnic?
Well, at one point, it means, of course, poly means many and technic means trades. But that is the name has stuck, although we're now just a regular comprehensive high school. But at one time, we taught many, many different trades here.
And you have quite a few people who are quite well known in the political, entertainment, and athletic world, don't you?
We certainly have that. We have Cameron Diaz. We have Tony Gwynn, who is a Hall of Fame baseball player. This year, starting National League All-Star second baseman was Chase Utley, and he came from Poly High School. We have Beverly O'Neill, who was a mayor over and over again here in Long Beach. We have Keith Kellogg, who is a 4-star general. So we have a wide variety, including Marilyn Horne, who's a well-known opera star.
Did Jeff graduate from here also?
No. He wasn't smart enough to come here. We had to send him up to Jordan.
I'm sure he's going to appreciate that one.
But his son comes here.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So, will you take me on a tour and give me some idea of what Poly's all about?
Absolutely. Let's go over here and look at the 100 building first.
Okay. By the way, while we're walking, I notice you have a beautiful rose garden.
Thank you. The class of 1952 put this in. It wasn't a rose garden at the time, but it was for flowers, and it shapes as a 5-2. So this series of benches make a 5, and the other series of benches over there make a 2. So if you look from up above, you'd see a 5-2 for the class of 1952, who donated it and had it built.
Oh, And this is the main entrance to the school?
This is the 100 building, and as you can see, we have two portholes here, and up on top we have what looks like the bridge of a ocean liner. And that was one of the themes that he used when he was designing this building.
It's very much in the modern or modern style, isn't it?
Well, it is, but it's interesting also to know that we get a lot of motion picture shot here because they really like the look of the school and the style of the school. We've had the Insider with Russell Crowe. We've had The Other Sister, which was a movie that had Tom Skerritt in it. We had a movie, American Pie #1, American Pie #2 were also filmed here. We've had CSI filmed here on a couple of occasions.
Do they film while the students are in session?
Well, they do, and we work around them and they work around us.
What's your total enrollment?
On this campus, there's 4,400 students. We have another campus that's over on 16th and Long Beach Boulevard with about another 400 there. So a total of about 4,800 students what we take care of.
That's a large number of students.
You know, the federal government, when they talk about a large school, they talk about 1,300. We have 4,800.
What percentage do you think go on to the university or colleges?
That rate's around just about 80% or so, either go on to a city college or on to a four-year university.
That's still quite good, isn't it?
That's very good. The others go off to work, or many of them go to the military. The military is very big for many of our children.
And you have a PACE program here?
We have a PACE program, which is a high-octane, take no prisoners kind of academic program. There really is nothing else like it, not only in the city of Long Beach, but basically in the Southern California.
Are these for academically excelled students?
These are for kids, just like I have athletes who don't mind going home and practicing basketball for 3 hours every night or football every night for 3 hours. They go home and do homework 3 hours every night, and they don't bat an eye at that.
Are these advanced placement courses or just regular courses?
No, many of the students will walk out of here with 10 or more advanced placement courses under their belts.
So they can earn college credits while they're here?
Many colleges accept it as college credits, so they can go in as a sophomore, which can save thousands and thousands of dollars for parents.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
All right.
Let's go over here and maybe we'll look at the reliefs next.
Okay. Okay, now what are you going to show me over here?
Well, over here are some of the reliefs we have. They're interesting enough because they come from the 30s and the Work Project Administration during the Depression years when President Roosevelt put people to work, and these are artisans who put these reliefs in. So we have them on a number of our buildings. You can see Abraham Lincoln there. You can see, let's see who else is here. This is Leonardo da Vinci. We have Dante up there, I believe. So we have a variety of...
I think I would fail the quiz if you asked me.
We have like 23 different ones here, and we have not been able to identify all of them. Some of them are local people, and some of them are famous. As you can see up on the top right, there is William Shakespeare. So we've identified a number of them, but we're not sure of all of them, to be honest.
Now, this is part of the WPA project. I think you also have some murals.
Yeah, we have, I think, 3 different murals on campus for that.
Could we look at a couple of them?
Absolutely, they're over here.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Well, it is impressive, as a matter of fact. And as you can see, the date on it is 1938 and 1939. It has the name of the 2 artists that did it. It says Work Project Administration there, the WPA and Federal Art Project. And as you can see, it depicts the port and activities that go along with the ocean. So we have anywhere from fishermen to sailors to wheelwrights. We have recreation over here, people in bathing suits. So it's kind of a magnificent mural, as a matter of fact.
Has this been touched up at all from the original painting?
I don't think it's been touched in any way, shape, or form.
Still in great shape there.
We take great pride in this, and because it is just kind of amazing, to be honest with you.
I think there are WPA artwork in many of the schools here in the city of Long Beach.
That's true.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Heritage was going to categorize them and have a list of them.
I think Washington Middle School has some. I think Franklin Middle School. I think Jefferson Middle School. I think Wilson has some. It's mainly the ones that are in the older part of the city and the older schools have them.
I think you have another one that I would like to see. I think it's Mercury.
Yes, that's a tile work, and we can walk over there next.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. And Harvey, this is another example up here where it looks like the top of, or the bridge of a ship. You see they use the same type of style that they used in the 100 building. Also, as you can see, the green part, we think that's copper that has turned over the years in color. So they do things to schools back then. They had money for it, they don't have money when they build them now. They also do some funny things architecturally. For instance, we have these stairs that go up to a roof. Now, you'd never put that in a school today. For some reason, they thought that was a good idea back then.
You know, ironic though it is that since Hugh Davies was the architect here, and I said he also did the 20th century house. And in the 20th century house, they have a lot of nautical themes in it.
So it must have been his thing that he kept using over and over again. Plus you're in a port city, and that would be part of it as well.
And by the way, that was the Kellogg's home.
Ah.
Now we're going down here, and you're going to show me another mural?
Yes. This is more of a tile work. And as you can see, the date on it is 1935. It talks about speed is the greatest factor in modern life. And as it turns out, they thought speed was an airplane, and of course Mercury, which was the messenger of the gods, and a locomotive, which obviously they hardly even work in the era of speed in modern life. With the internet now, which they had no idea of, and jet planes and rockets and space shuttles, it was a different time.
I'm surprised how well these are maintained for being from 1935. That's what, almost 70-some years ago.
Well, it's not just that. It's interesting enough that the kids take care of them as well. The kids do not face them. They don't ride on them. They really kind of cherish them. They have a real respect for that. That's part of Poly's whole demeanor, to be honest with you, is that they really appreciate the type of architecture and everything about the school.
Do you have an eclectic mix of ethnic backgrounds here at the school?
You know, we have no ethnic group here at Poly High School larger than about 30%, and our largest percentage would be our Asian percentage, which is mainly Cambodian, and then African Americans around 25 or so, and Latinos around 25, and then with white and Filipino and Pacific Islander, the rest would be about another 25.
So it's pretty evenly distributed.
It's very evenly distributed, and that really works well for us because then kids, there's no power base, there's no large group of kids and everybody else wishing they were that group type of thing. It's very evenly dispersed.
By the way, do they have to wear uniforms here?
They do not have to wear uniforms here.
That's only in middle schools?
That's in elementary schools, middle schools, and at high schools, Millikan and Wilson both require uniforms. We do not.
Any particular reason?
We had just never gotten into the uniform mode. Where those other schools felt that would help them, we just haven't gone there with us.
All right, where are we going to go now?
Well, let's just see. Oh, I've got another one over here to show you.
All right.
Okay, so we're at nutrition now. And as you can see, we have a wide variety of kids, a lot of students, all having their morning break. They have 15 minutes to get their break, get a little something to eat, and they're back in class in 15 minutes.
What time does school start?
7:55, and it goes till 2:40 in the afternoon.
And how many periods a day?
We are on a block system, so we have 3 hour-and-a-half blocks that they meet every other day with. So they have 3 classes on one day, 3 classes on the other day, but we always have period 7, which is our athletic period and an extra period.
Now, do you have any auto shop or any type of...
We still have an auto shop. We still have a print shop. We still have architectural design. We also have electronics. Those are the 4 main ones that we have left over from the old days. We'd like to put in a construction one. We just don't have the space at the moment.
It seems like there's a push to bring back some of the trades into the classroom.
You know, I think for a long time the trades have been looked down upon, and those are serious, vital occupations that we need qualified people to do. And so, yeah, I think we're working very hard on bringing those back. The problem with them is they take large classrooms and large amount of spaces, and in some cases we've given up those classrooms and we have to reclaim them for that purpose.
I think probably because they didn't think it paid very well and it was lower class. But I was talking to someone who said over at Boeing, just people who are general laborers hourly can well make over $100,000 a year.
Oh, I think with overtime, when you're qualified, that's absolutely true. And we need qualified plumbers and mechanics and artists and all those different occupations that make up the world.
How long have you been in education?
About 30-some years. And 11 years as principal here at Poly High School.
You've been here 11 years?
11 as the principal.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go check something else out.
Okay.
You know, while we're coming in, I want to compliment you on how clean this campus is.
Oh, I appreciate it. But first of all, the custodians do a great job in that area, and the students take care of it. They, like I've said before, take great pride in being here at Poly. The students that are here are the ones that want to be here. If they don't want to be here, we let them go to another school. So the students that are here by choice.
I noticed lockers. Do you still use the lockers?
We don't use the lockers at all. First of all, we don't have enough for everybody. And the second of all, they are a huge cost of having to repair them and change them and fix them all the time, so it's a constant cost.
So it's backpacks instead of lockers?
Well, they only have 3 classes a day, so they don't have to carry all 6 classes worth of books. They only have to carry 3 classes worth of books. So this is the other mirror we've been talking about.
This is an impressive
Ceiling facade, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so too, and it's interesting. Even though I was a student here in the 70s, I barely even remember this. So kids walk under this ceiling every day and ignore it, and we look at it now and say, gosh, that is amazing.
It really is. And this is another WPA mural?
It's another WPA mural. As you can see, it's been relocated here. It wasn't here originally, and I really don't even know where it was. I think at one point we found it in a closet somewhere. It had been removed from its location, put in a closet. As you can see, there are some breaks, and I think it's on wood, and it's been reassembled and framed and hung over the 100 building.
Could we maybe go check out a classroom?
Absolutely.
Sean, before we go into the classroom, what's the average class size?
We have about 37 students in a class, and to be honest with you, these classrooms were not made for 37 students. They were really made for something more like 30, and they weren't made for the big bodies that we have these days. The 1930 body and the 2000 body is much, much larger, and so those classrooms are pretty crowded.
Now, some classes like foreign language classes would probably be smaller than, say, an English class or a government class.
Actually, the English classes at 35 are our smallest classes, and everybody else pretty much has 37. Now, we provide 5 foreign languages here. We provide French, Spanish, German, Japanese, and Chinese here.
Oh, wow, Japanese and Chinese both.
And we have the largest Japanese program in the United States.
Well, what's your faculty? How many faculty members do you have?
We have over 180 teachers. And then we have about another 50 or so auxiliary staff members, counselors, administrators, grounds crew, custodians.
Oh, another apprentice, huh?
It's just another whole group of people. Yep.
Well, let's go in and check out a classroom.
This would be a German class with one of our German teachers, Miss Bezzaretti. This is it.
So, like, ja. Es war, wie hat es dir gefallen? Was bedeutet das? Wie hat es dir gefallen? What do I like? Sehr gut. So, antworten wir. Antworten. What do you like? Let's make up something. Okay. Fußball, so, Es gefällt, sehr gut, mir und zum Beispiel hier Fußball, ja? Fußball, amerikanischer Fußball, sehr gut. Gut. Wie war es? Wie war in der Stadt? Wie war in der Stadt? RJ, wie war in der Stadt? How was in the city? Okay, make up something. Es war sehr gut, sehr gut. Es war Sehr, sehr langweilig.
Miss Bezzaretti, could I interrupt you for just a moment? I brought you an apple. Will that give me a good grade?
Thank you very much. Yes, you are getting an A+.
Now, how long have you been teaching?
2 years.
Oh, and do you like it?
I love it.
And this is your favorite class?
Well, one of my favorite classes.
Oh, okay. Why did you select German instead of one of the other languages?
I was already taking Spanish, and I just wanted to learn some other language, I guess.
How many years of language is required for graduation?
I think at least 2 for some universities. Some universities require 3 years, or they like to see as more as possible.
Well, good. I just wanted to stop in and see a typical classroom, and I
Well-
assume this is a typical classroom.
Thank you for stopping by.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
So let's continue. Wie war im Olympiastadion?
Sean, tell me about the mural in the library.
That's another mural done by the art department here, and it's the flags of the nationalities of where all the students come from. And as you can see, there's about 72 flags up there. It was done in the late 80s, and part of the interesting part is that there's a picture of Waldo. When you find "Where's Waldo?" 3 times on that mural, and that's just kind of a thing of the 80s that they put in at that time. Interesting enough that we had a group of principals from China come and talk to us, and they wanted to know why the Chinese flag wasn't up there. Out of all the flags, they looked up and they said, well, why isn't China up there? And I said, well, probably we weren't very good partners at that time, or neighbors at that time. That's obviously changed, and I need to change my mural. But the first question out of their mouths was, why wasn't there a Chinese flag up there?
Another fine example of murals.
Oh my gosh, you know, it was a thing of the time, and back then, I guess us and Chinese were not getting along.
Hopefully everything is better now.
Oh, it's much better.
I see it says, enter to learn, go forth to serve.
That's the school motto, and it's interesting because Billie Jean King mentions that when she talks about Poly High School, how she walked underneath that every year or every day going into school and looking up at that and saying, oh, I get what that means. And of course now she's the president of the Women's Tennis Association in New York City.
And this is the main entrance to the campus?
This is the main entrance. We use it in the morning and the afternoons. Otherwise, we use most of the kids come in through because we can control it better on the side of the campus. But this is the main entrance of the school.
And I see, is this a new sign up here?
There's a brand new sign up there, our new marquee, which not only do we put up announcements of things that are coming up, but when students get accepted to universities, we like to put their names up there and what university they're going to give them a little recognition for all the hard work they put into and where they're going on to further their education.
I noticed it said ROTC. Do you have an ROTC program?
We have a large ROTC program, and it's very popular. It has more than 200 cadets in it. They do a lot of community service. They help with many of the parades. They work up in Bixby Knolls when they have their events. They work the Martin Luther King Parade when it's on Martin Luther King Avenue behind us. So they do a lot of good work as well as learn to what it takes to be in the military.
So they serve before they leave.
They serve before they leave. They get PE credit for it, so that's part of their PE class. And to some students, it's what keeps bringing them back to school.
Good. And we need something that keeps them interested in bringing them back.
Absolutely. And last year we had 4 students from our senior class accepted into the major academies. So we had 2 going to West Point, 1 going to the Naval Academy, and 1 went to the Air Force Academy. So 4 out of a class is pretty substantial.
That's impressive.
It's very impressive.
All right, let's go on in.
All right.
Ah, what a nice swimming pool.
Indoor swimming pool in Southern California. There just aren't too many of them, to be honest with you.
This has to be Olympic sized, isn't it?
It is actually, it's not quite long enough for Olympic size. This is in feet, which is how they used to build them. Now it has to be in meters, and obviously the two don't match, and it's really hard to elongate a swimming pool.
Do you have a good swim team and water polo?
Well, this year our water polo team won the Moore League for the first time in about 20 years, so they did a wonderful job this year. And again, in Southern California, you wouldn't think that you'd have an indoor pool, but for whatever reason they decided to cover this, and all of these swimming pools in the Long Beach Unified School District are covered. This this has been used for a number of commercials, as well as Cold Case has done a piece in here, as well as CSI has done a show in here.
You know, when I taught at Warren High School in Downey, Downey High School was our crosstown rivals each year. Do you have one?
Wilson High School.
That's your main competitor?
That's our main competitor.
And who wins?
Depends what sport we're playing. Sometimes we're on top, sometimes they're on top.
But it's always a good game.
It's a good game, and we like beating them, and they like beating us.
Is PE still required?
PE is required. You have to have four semesters or 2 years of PE. And if some of the students don't pass it, they have to take it in summer school. They have to take it over again.
And what kind of activities?
They do a variety of activities. There's running, there's weightlifting, there's dance, there's all the sports that they do. They spend a lot of time on physical sports such as stretching and teaching the kids how to keep physically fit. That's the main focus of the classroom, is teaching skills and teaching lifelong fitness.
And this is required of everyone?
Everyone has to take and pass 4 semesters of PE to get a diploma.
We don't have a lot of time left. Is there any last thing you want to show me?
I will show you one last thing. It's another mural, but it's a newer mural.
All right, let's check it out. Wow, this is an impressive mural. Who painted this?
Students and a teacher designed the whole thing, and this is the history of Poly over the last 100 years. You can see the old building here when it was down on 8th and Long Beach Boulevard. And this is the one that burned to the ground. We have a picture of, and it starts off in black and white. It starts moving into color as we get further around, just like TV at one time was black and white, then moved into color. And we have famous people. David Bertram, who was principal from 1907 to 1941, the longest...
Boy, that's a long time to be principal.
The longest sitting principal for Poly High School. By the way, I am second longest at 11 years.
Are you going to beat his longevity?
I am not going to get anywhere close to that. Here's our earthquake and everything coming down. We talked about those pillars. The pillars up there on top are now around the, we saw them at the beginning of the show, are now around the flagpole. So this is the closing, and I talked about it was at the dome.
Hey, when we talked about famous people who graduated from here, we forgot to mention Thomas Murphy.
Thomas Murphy, yes. And we need to get him a new hat, by the way, because he keeps wearing that same hat at all the...
Beverly gave that to him.
Oh, did she? Well, we need to get him a new one, because I think it's been a while there.
Oh, here's some of our Marilyn Horne.
Marilyn Horne, and some of them are just famous people in history. Over here we have John Rambo, who graduated from here. We have Billie Jean King, who has more Wimbledon titles than anybody else.
She graduated from Poly?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Here's Sean Ashley when he was a student here. He's a student body president, student body assistant principal. So famous people are on this one.
Oh, this is neat.
It is kind of neat. It's kind of an interesting history of the
Who was Robert
school.
Ellis?
Robert Ellis was principal for about 6 years here. And he also went to school here and then came through as the principal.
This is quite an undertaking, isn't it?
Oh, it took him a long time to finish it, as you can see. I think we have Beverly O'Neill up here somewhere. Where's Beverly? Over here?
Oh, there she is.
Yes, we have Tony Gwynn right here. So this is the history of Poly in mural form.
Now, I understand you have a great music program.
I have an incredible music program. And if your child is interested in music, this is the school to send them to. We have won 5 Grammy Signature Awards, and a Grammy Signature Award is put out by the Grammys, and it's for having one of the top 10 music programs in the nation. And that's both vocal and instrumental. We have jazz bands, we have orchestras. We have an orchestra who last year performed with Elmer Bernstein before he died, and he was an Academy Award-winning composer. And so our music program is very substantial here at Poly High School.
Good. Do you put on programs that are open to the public?
Absolutely. We have them in our large auditorium there, and we have them, I don't know, 7, 8 times a year. Sometimes it's vocal, sometimes it's music, sometimes it's a combination of both.
What's your drama department like?
Drama department's really pretty good. They put on 2 performances a year. They do one with, this year they did Little Shop of Horrors, so they did a musical, and it was really very good.
Which would go along with your musical program?
It would go along with the musical program. Obviously, the musicians went over there and accompanied her. They played live as the actors and actresses sang.
I'll have to come and attend one of your performances when I see it in the paper.
It's well worth your time.
Well, Sean, this has been most interesting. I know Polly's been here a long time, and it's going to be here a lot longer. And you're known as a school of champions and scholars?
Scholars and champions, and some people like to say scholars, champions, and musicians.
All right, I'll buy that.
Okay.
I want to thank you for taking me on the tour. It's been delightful, and continued success.
Thank you, Harvey. Thank you for coming to Poly High School today.
My pleasure. And that's our show for this time. Be sure and join us again next month as we take another walk through history and uncover more Long Beach treasures. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Long Beach Treasures. I'm your host, Harvey Keller. Today we're going to be visiting another of the historic districts here in Long Beach, and joining me and telling me all about her historic district is Betty McKinney. Betty, thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Harvey. It's nice of you to come.
What is your district called?
We're the Belmont Heights Historic District, and we're the northwest corner of Belmont Heights, and we're very pleased with our historic designation.
So what are your boundaries?
We go from 4th Street on the south to basically 7th Street, and then from Newport, which is just one in from Redondo, to Roswell, just on the other side of Terminal.
And you were one of the folks in
Pushers.
the district who were instrumental in getting the designation?
Yes, we were very concerned. There were several residents very concerned with our neighborhood and what was happening, and we wanted to protect our beautiful neighborhood. And if you can look, you'll see we have a great character on our street. We have a lot of California bungalows here, and that's mainly what Belmont Heights Historic District is the California bungalows. It was a working class community, and basically smallish houses, 1,000 to 1,200 square feet. And hopefully we have preserved the neighborhood.
You're one of the newer historical districts, aren't you?
Yes, I think there's only one after us.
Bluff Heights, maybe.
I was thinking of Elliott Lane, but we are one of the newest ones. Yes, in January of '02.
And this is your home?
This is our home. We've
And
lived here a long time.
What kind of, what's the style of architecture?
This is a Spanish revival. Inside it's a California bungalow, but there are, the historic district is mostly California bungalows, but we happen to live in the Spanish revival house.
I assume there is an eclectic mix of architectural styles thrown in along the way?
There is, and after 80 years, there have been more eclectic added.
Could we go in and
please,
look around?
Please come in. We're very proud.
All right.
One of the nice things I think about our house is we have this little foyer that most of the California bungalows don't have. And then you go into the living room.
How long have you lived here?
We moved in Memorial Day of 1972.
Oh, so you've been here a while.
We were here before the hair was gray.
Oh, this is a nice front room.
So this is a large front room. We have tremendous windows in the house.
That
Never
looks like
seen
a
one.
Batchelder fireplace, is it?
It is. It was so fun. We had gone to a historical tour in Bluff Heights, and we walked in, and the docent was talking about the fireplace. And I said to my husband, we have one of those. And it was just covered with paint. And somebody else had started painting it before us. And we were having the living room worked on, and my husband came home and stripped it. It isn't as bright as an original Batchelder because some of the color came off when it was stripped. But I like the subtleness of it very much. I think if it was the bright color, it would stand out too much.
Beautiful crown molding.
Oh, yes, yes. Isn't that great? And there are
Pocket
wonderful
doors.
pocket doors with wavy glass. So cool.
Which way are we going next?
Let's go this way.
Okay. Now, what's the square footage of your house?
We're almost 1,700 square feet.
Oh,
We're
so you're-
larger than the original homes in the neighborhood. And this is our study, library, travel, souvenir room. And probably the interesting thing is the kind of bay windows. But lots of windows in this room again.
They liked the light, didn't they?
Then when the builder in this house did, yes. And it also has the chair rail, which we have used some of the chair,
Picture rail.
picture rail, thank you, which we have used for some of them, and that picture looks off center. Oh well.
And then we can continue down the hallway?
Yes.
Oh, what a beautiful bathroom.
Oh, this is our bathroom, and we haven't
I love the ceiling.
the ceiling. We did the ceiling like that. That is not the original. The ceiling was falling down, and so my husband put that wood up there to keep the ceiling from falling down. But if you go in, you can see the shower, and there's a nice little arch over the shower, and it goes back far enough so that we don't get water all over the place, so we don't need
A shower curtain.
a shower curtain. But it's the original tub, the original sink. I'm so glad we were able to.
The original built-ins, I'm assuming.
The original built-ins, yes.
And the tile?
The tile is original. The toilet has been replaced with the low flow.
Really a neat bathroom.
Lots of character. Lots of character in there.
Did you put in the skylight?
We
or?
put in this
Oh.
2 skylights in the hall. They're so much brighter in this hallway.
I have to ask another question. I just found out that this is a picture of your mom, and she used to sing with Tommy Dorsey?
Yes, both my parents, and then Terry's grandfather.
Wow!
Our little family corner here.
And as we,
This is a closet in here. I guess the original linen closet they put in the hallway.
and as we go down here, I have to ask you another question, because I see a picture of an admiral. And this is your father?
This is my father. Actually, he was stationed here in Long Beach, and of all the places that I lived as a child, I thought Long Beach was the best. And so that's why I came here when I started teaching many years ago.
And I see he was awarded the Navy Cross, which
Yes.
is right below the Congressional Medal of Honor.
I'm not sure that's the Congressional Medal of Honor.
No,
but
this is a Navy Cross.
that is an, oh,
Right.
yes, I understand what you're saying, yes. The Navy Cross, he received that in Korea.
So you were a
Yes.
military brat.
I was a military brat, and my husband would say I'm still a brat.
All right, let's keep going down. Any more famous family members we're going to run into?
No, he was the most famous, I think. And this is our bedroom in here, and it's a large bedroom when you go to the neighboring houses.
How come so many bay windows in your house?
I don't know, but it's
You just
a
like bay
nice-
windows?
We did.
What a beautiful view outside
It
from your
is.
bedroom.
And what's neat, this window is new. These windows were original, but originally there was a small window up here that I always call the chest of drawers window, because you could fit the chest of drawers under the window.
Mm.
But I went to a neighbor's house who put in a new bedroom, and he could see his garden. And I said, let's put in new windows. And so these are wood frame, but they're the low E windows.
Right.
And so they block out any sound when they have parties. But can you see my water fountain? It's a bird
Yes.
magnet.
We'll have to
It's a
run out there
bird
when we finish in the house, because I'd like to see the backyard.
But this room has 4 windows and 4 doors. I mean, sorry, this room has 4 windows and 4 doors. And it's still big enough to have some large pieces of furniture in it.
It is a large room.
Nice and light and airy.
Wow. Let's keep going. I don't want to miss anything.
You're so good. And I don't,
Oh, we must be going into the kitchen area.
the kitchen, yes, we're working on the kitchen. It's a work on progress. We've started painting. We liked gray, and we put it on, but it clashes with the oak furniture. So we're thinking maybe a reddish burgundy. So that's going to be redone. But the white is new, and we're going to put molding up here, and just
Boy, with
a
the
lot.
big windows and the skylight, this is
Oh,
really a
isn't
bright,
it?
bright
Yes.
room.
Oh, I'm so pleased with the light that comes in here and the white. We're getting rid of the wallpaper that was here, and it's when the sun is out, it's wonderful.
This is a nice sized home.
Yes, I think the 1700 for two, it's very comfortable. We can have some space for the two of us, but you don't get lost.
Let's check out the dining room real quick,
Oh.
and then I want to run outside and the crown molding continues in here.
The crown molding continues, and my husband put up the shutters so there was more room. There used to be curtains here when we moved in, and there's a lot more room, I think, with shutters. It still lets the light in, but the whole wall is windows. You can see how many windows they put in this house.
Are the floors original?
The floors are original, yes.
They're
But we
beautiful
have had
condition.
them refinished and darkened. But they're quarter sawn oak, and there's wonderful patterns. And I think the darkness, the dark color brings out the grain in the wood much more than if they were light.
Well, let's run outside and check out the backyard.
All right, my
Let's go.
my sanctuary.
Oh, wow, what a nice place to entertain.
Yes, and to come out during the day. This is my little national park. I just love it back here.
Oh,
My husband built me the greenhouse with the White House, the birds,
Rabbits?
my rabbit over there, my fertilizer maker. It's a lot of work, but I just love it.
this
And
is a nice sized backyard too, isn't it?
it is, and it's extra large because we don't have an alley.
Oh,
There's a half alley at the other end of the block, but it stops 3 or 4 houses down, and so we have that extra room. And when we first came in, we built, or we worked on the shrubbery in the yard, so we would have privacy. And
you do all the gardening?
except for cutting the grass.
That must keep you
Busy. It keeps my fingers dirty and everything. But, you know, when the McMansion houses, the big houses came in, I got to thinking, if we had that 2-story white stucco wall going down the property line, we would lose the air, all the plants would be in the shade, you couldn't come out skinny dipping.
Your privacy would be gone?
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of privacy
By the
back
way,
here.
where do you go skinny dipping, in the fountain?
No, I have a little kiddie pool that I set up, and it's great. It is so neat, and it's just warmed by the sun.
Well, this is just a charming, charming place.
Oh, thank you.
You
We're
know.
very proud of it, and I'm pleased that we were able to share it with you.
And I love, it's so nice and quiet back here. It's just the water element gives it a little, such a nice feel and
Yes.
such a nice sound.
And the birds love it, and they just come over, and they love skinny dipping in the water fountain themselves.
All right, Betty, thank you. It's been a joy, and
Thank you, Harvey. It
thank
was
you
nice
for letting
sharing.
us come in.
Thank you.
And don't go away. We'll be right back with more Long Beach Treasures.
Food's great. I can see 11 TVs from where I'm sitting. Great atmosphere, good service. Excellent place to come watch a game.
Lots of good sports, great television.
Football, baseball, and HD down at Smooth Sports Grill.
There's actually a nightclub Friday nights and Saturday nights. Fantastic DJ. We love coming to Smooth's. Great food. Got televisions everywhere. Nice place.
Welcome back to Long Beach Treasures. Now we're going to visit another home in this historic district. It's a Craftsman bungalow, and the owner is Craig Starnes. And joining me is Craig, and I'm going to ask him about his house. Craig, how long have you lived here?
We bought in '96, so about 11 years.
And how big is your house?
It's 1,160 square feet, built in 1922.
And have you done a lot of work to it?
We've done a lot of work to this house. The pillars have been rebuilt. The paint just a few years ago was burnt down to the original redwood siding and repainted.
Now, I think you are involved in the movement to do away with McMansions in the area?
Well, I am in a committee where we're trying to stop the mansionization in Long Beach. We're in a historic district, so we're somewhat protected, but there are areas of Long Beach, and it's citywide, where homes are coming down rapidly, and huge homes are being built in place of these small bungalows or Spanish homes.
That's one of the advantages of living in a historic district, isn't it? You have at least some control.
Yes, we do. We have some control. We would be notified if somebody has plans to do any changes to their homes. Right now, in a non-historic area, it is my understanding that an owner can get a permit and tear down their house, and without any neighbors even knowing.
Would you take us on a tour of your home?
Sure.
Let's go.
Go inside?
Sure.
In, Harvey.
All right. Oh, this is nice.
Thank you. My partner and I bought this house in '96, and we've done a lot of work in this room. We had 35 feet of foundation replaced. While they were leveling the house and bolting it down, numerous cracks developed. The ceiling in this room, quarter of it fell down one morning. And so this has all been drywalled. We chose to do drywall and not plaster for fear of plaster coming down on our heads in an earthquake. So though it's not historically accurate, it's safe.
Are the light fixtures original?
No. The one above the dining room that is on was found in the attic, though. That's the only original one. There were two that were found in the attic, and that's one of them.
And the fireplace?
The fireplace I built last summer. It had an original fireplace that was torn out before we moved in, and a huge entertainment center was built. The bookcases and the stationery are original. So I wanted to build a Batchelder-esque style fireplace. So I did a lot of research and found an artist down in Encinitas who makes these tiles. His name is Laird Plumley, and he did an awesome job. We designed it, and I built it last summer. I built the mantle, too. The entertainment center went all the way up to the upper mantle, so rather than try to flush the drywall in, I decided to make an upper mantle in that whole opening.
The wainscoting is original?
No, we added that. We wanted to add a little bungalow addition to the room, so we put the rail in.
This is a nice combination, living room, dining room, with just a small separation.
Yeah, in fact, when we moved in, I noticed that there were some plugs in that beam overhead, and I said, Joel, I bet there's wires in that beam, and sure enough, there was cloth-covered wires in there. So I went to Kona Lighting in Stanton, which has lots of old light fixtures, and we put those light fixtures in place of where the originals probably were. The buffet ahead of me, the original was ripped out of the house. If you have a chance to see the flooring, it's been feathered in with floor. Well, we wanted to put one back in, so I called Ruth Ann Lair, who used to be the preservation officer in Long Beach, and I asked her about homes being demolished. And this came out of a house that was demolished on Orange, around 10th and Orange. We cut it out of the house and we built it into to our dining room.
Let's go on. where are we going to go next?
Well, I guess we can turn left here.
Oh. This is an original bathroom?
No, the original bathroom, unfortunately, was altered significantly, and then when we releveled the house, it cracked a lot of the tiles. So in
The windows
2000,
have to be original.
the windows are original, but not the stained glass. I bought those on eBay, and they came from England. They fit our wood windows perfectly. Had to do a little bit of routering, but the bathroom, we wanted to put it back to original style. So and we wanted a shower, so we were able to pull it off by putting a shower in. The toilet is original. That's the only original thing to that room, and that's the only thing that was original when we moved in.
So this is 2 bedrooms, 1 bath?
It's actually was a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. The smallest room, which you will see, the closet was taken away to make the kitchen bigger.
And this is a
This
master
is the
bedroom?
yeah, I guess it's the master. It's the largest of the 3. It's about 12 by 12. That one, along with the living and dining room, was done at the same time. It's all drywall now. That whole side of the house was releveled and a foundation added, 35 feet, so it cracked a lot of the siding. So we redid that room. And the only rooms we have left to do is the kitchen, breakfast nook, middle bedroom, and the office.
Left to do?
Left to re-drywall. There's lots of cracks, crown moldings, crooked. Here's a room that has not been done yet. Your camera may not show it all, but there's numerous cracks and crown that's crooked. I just love this room. It's a small room, but I just love the feel of this room. It shows off a lot of Joel's family and my family. And
You said this was built what year?
1922. And 1922, actually, when they did the study to create Belmont Heights Historic District, 1922 was the year that most of the homes were built. There was about 61 homes built in 1922.
This has always been a bedroom, I assume.
Yes, it does have a door.
Why would they have an outside door?
It's not. It's a closet.
Oh, okay.
This whole side is a pop out, and there's the closet and the closet for the other bedroom, and then the bathroom sticks out about 4 feet.
That explains it.
Yeah, and this is a door to the 3rd bedroom, but we can access it from the kitchen.
And do you use your fans here?
I do. When it gets really hot here in August, I pull that giant fan out. It sounds like the Long Beach Airport, but it really blows the air. As you can see, we're really into antiques and pottery, and it is a passion of ours.
These floors are beautiful.
Yeah, they were redone before we moved in, and they've held up really well. Got some scratches from the kitty cat, but they're holding up really well. Well, they've held up for 85 years.
Let's go check the kitchen area.
Okay.
You do have a lot of antiques, don't you?
Yeah, British and English, British and American antiques. Yeah, the pottery is pretty much American. This is a British secretary here. I like the depth is really conducive for this walkway here.
Now you obviously redone the kitchen.
No, the kitchen was done before we moved in, and we haven't done anything to it yet, but we do have plans to redo this kitchen. There was an original wall here that separated the breakfast nook from the kitchen, so it was a very, very small kitchen. There's a header in here. There was a wall that came across, and there was a doorway. And this area here was more of a mudroom. And the area here was the closet for that 3rd bedroom. So the previous owner took all that out to make the kitchen bigger. What we have plans to do in the future is to put the wall back, add a half bath here, very small half bath. And I think, yeah, that's what we plan to do, and then redo the cabinets and the countertops.
And this would have been the 3rd bedroom?
This is the 3rd. Excuse me. This is the smallest one. It was a third bedroom. The closet used to be right here. And this beam, there's a beam here. This actually hangs over. It's a pop out also. It only hangs out over the foundation of the house about 1.5 feet. There are 5 houses on our block that are identical. The one next door, the one next door to me on this side, and 2 across the street. And I understand you were just at Betty's house.
Yes.
There's a blue house right next to Betty, and that one's identical as well. And I was very curious to find out who the builder was. So I went on the Long Beach website for building and planning and pulled up the permits. And every single one of those houses had the same builder, Albert Bailey, back in 1921 and 22. This was this house was the last permit pulled.
Can we go out and check out your backyard real quick?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, this is a nice backyard.
Thank you. It's a full lot, 6,500 square feet.
And this is a rental unit here?
Yeah, this is a studio apartment that we rent to a friend. We have a storage room and a laundry room, and the city required us to have access from the front. So here's a 1-car garage here, and then we have off the alley a 2-car garage door. So we have a 3-car.
3-car garage.
Right. Which is kind of rare, I think, for Long Beach. Seems like a lot of people park on the street, so or in their driveways, but we park off the street.
Did you pick the color combination?
Yes, we bought numerous cans of paint and tested, and we chose the hillside green and the white paint and the copper mine. It's actually an off-white. It's not brilliant white. And then the reddish color is copper mine. It's from the Benjamin Moore Historic Colors collection. We built this patio cover, I don't know, about 6-7 years ago. The whole side of the house just gets the brunt of every storm, and it was just horrible. So, plus no protection from sun. So we built this patio cover about, I don't know, 7-8 years ago.
Do you spend a lot of time out here?
Oh yes, we spend a lot of time back here, and in the jacuzzi as well. And come and see the pergola we built on the side.
It's a quiet neighborhood, isn't it?
It's very quiet.
This is a nice patio area.
We really like this neighborhood. What's nice is having the garage. We can just utilize this. It can be a driveway, or it can be living space.
So you don't use this garage all the time?
This garage basically is storage for odds and ends. It's tandem. I mean, it goes through. If I open up this one, I could open up the other one. You could drive right through.
Oh.
But we just have 2 cars, so we park off the alley.
This gives you a nice little entertainment area.
Oh yeah, this is great. This patio had to be rebuilt. When they built these old homes, they poured dirt right up to the house, and they eventually rotted the cripple wall. When we moved in, we could stand inside the house, jump up and down, and this whole area bounced. It was rotten. We rebuilt the cripple wall, took off the cement cap because it had tilted towards the house. The underside of the house was full of rainwater. We had this re-poured with the driveway, and then when I did the bricking, this is all veneer. We redid the pillar, and we built the pergola a couple years ago.
Are those doors original?
Those are original. They have been restored twice because, again, the afternoon sun just wreaks havoc on this side of the house. That's another reason why we wanted to build this pergola, to help protect this side of the house.
Craig, your house is beautiful. Thank you for letting us come over and check it out.
Well, thank you for coming. It's a labor of love, and I hope that the viewers will take to restoring rather than ripping out. I am a preservationist with the help of my neighbor Bob next door. He's been on every project with us with his advice, and I truly love, Joel and I both truly love working on it and restoring it. I'm glad it's 1,160 square feet and not 2,000 because it is a lot, even with a small house.
I know what you mean. My house was built in 1918, and I have gone through everything you've gone through, And it just it's a continuing process.
It is. And once you get done, you got to do it all over again.
I know. Craig.
Thank you very
thanks.
much.
And that's our show for this time. Join us again next month as we take another walk through history and uncover more Long Beach treasures. Hello and welcome to another edition of Long Beach Treasures. I'm your host, Harvey Keller. Today we're back in the historic Bluff Park neighborhood, and we're going to go through one of the more spectacular craftsman bungalows here in Bluff Park. And joining me now is one of the owners, Melinda Roney. Melinda, thanks for letting us come and join you.
Thank you very much.
And I want to point out your beautiful new lions here.
Oh, we're very happy with him. That is Siegfried, and this is Roy.
And you just had the other one stolen, did you not?
Yes, we did about 2.5 months ago.
How in the world could they lift them?
Well, they were lighter than these. These weigh 650. The others were about 300. So they were a little lighter, and we have no idea. They did it within an hour in the morning. We came out, got the paper, the lions were here, came back to get the other paper, and they were gone. So
you have a beautiful craftsman home. This is probably what, on the order of a green and green?
Yes, it is. Much of the interior moldings have been done as green and green when it was remodeled in 1980, in the 1980s. So there is an awful lot of green and green influence in the house. The original builders and developers were the Milwaukee Building Company. And they built this house in 1911, and then they built the Milbanks Anderson house in 1912.
Which is now the museum.
Now the museum, the Long Beach. They also did the Grauman's Chinese Theater, the Fox West Coast Theater, the Walker Building, Grauman's, I said Grauman's, I believe the Egyptian Theater also. So they're very well known.
What year did you say this was built?
1911.
And the square footage is?
The square footage is approximately 3,300 square feet.
Oh, it's quite large.
Yes, yes it is.
And are you the original owner?
No,
I guess you couldn't be since 1911.
Actually, well, yeah, sometimes you feel like it. But it had eight owners before myself.
Oh.
It was originally built by David and Mary Estella Shoup from, they were from Indianapolis or in Ohio also. He was a clothing dealer, and they built the house for their summer home in 1911. They owned the house through 1929. During that time, they did rent it out to some various people. And then it had three other owners. The probably most notable owner was in the 50s, was the county coroner for Los Angeles lived here and commuted back and forth to Los Angeles.
Would you take us on a tour of your house?
Oh, I'd love to.
Let's go.
Okay.
Oh, this is a beautiful front door.
This is an original, and this particular stained glass is original, as is the piece in the dining room, original. The lamps are recreated. In the late 70s and during the 80s, the house was owned by Michael Anderson and Jerry McElroy. When they purchased the house, it was off of its foundation. So they spent a year or so getting it back on. They built a new foundation for it. And they are the ones that are responsible for our interior moldings and whatever.
The woodwork is beautiful.
The woodwork. They were greatly influenced by the Gamble House in Pasadena. They had a craftsman carpenter living with them much of the time, and he's the one that has done the exquisite moldings. They lived here until early 1990s, and then the home was bought by the Stevens family, and they now live in North Carolina. We bought the house in 2004 from the Stevens.
Are the floors original?
The floors are original. Well, they have had some changes, obviously, because of the 1933 earthquake, okay? So there were changes there. But then they also had to have some new parts. I see I got leaves in the house now. They had to have some new flooring put in, but much of it is original.
Can we wander through?
You can wander through. Some of the original wood is used in the beams, and a lot of it has been replaced because obviously termites, whatever. The wood is all heart. I believe it's Douglas fir, but Michael Anderson and Jerry McElroy spent days in lumber yards just choosing heart wood. One of the jokes of the house is that there are only 2 knotholes.
You have a lot of sconces, don't you?
Yes, yes we do. Furniture is ours. We're kind of eclectic about everything. We travel a great deal and collect a lot.
You
too.
must like sculptures, the lions out front. I see
we
some
do.
dolphins over here.
We lived on Newport Beach on the ocean for years, and so of course those were our
And I see in the next
whales.
room when we get there a big bear.
Well, yes, we can go this way
Okay.
if you'd like. This is Mr. Bear. Okay, Mr. Bear came with the house. The Stevens, the people before us, had the house furnished in lodge, kind of lodge setting, you know, so it was kind of rustic animals on the wall, that kind of thing. So Mr. Bear, the Stevens didn't want to take back with them, so they left us Mr. Bear and Wolf, and actually a huge eagle, but he's now with our friends in Colorado. Most of the artifacts we've collected while traveling, so we do travel. This year we're not doing much. We're glad to stay home. I just retired this year and really happy to stay home.
Isn't retirement great?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Where are we going this way?
Well, this way we're going into, this is a pantry, which I will not open, okay? And small bathroom downstairs. The floors are the tiles are from Italy.
Oh.
Michael Anderson wanted this size of a 6-sided tile and couldn't find it here. So they were imported from Italy just for the house. I guess it took months to lay them, and they're just, I love this floor. The floor is
You have a
wonderful.
lot of doors leading outside, don't you?
Yes, yes, we do. It's a lot of air. We have a small patio over here, and then we have the backyard patio. We don't have much yard. In the 50s...
Sometimes that's a blessing.
Well, I still plan a lot of things. In the 50s, there was an apartment carriage house over the garage, and they rented it, and when the Andersons took over, they took it down. So, and we had thought about replacing it, but then it seemed like every relative in the world thought this would be a good place to go to school and live, so we kind of passed on that one.
The kitchen's rather small.
Yeah, it is for the size of the house, but adequate. I was just going through this book. Maureen Neely had made it up for us of early pictures of the house and owners. There's a very good one here, this one. Fact is, the funny thing is, this particular palm tree was just taken out last year. You can see that the house has changed. There was an addition to a bedroom up here. A bedroom was added onto there, and originally there was a porch. Okay, this porch here was added in and then enclosed. So it's been changed throughout the years. Maureen does wonderful work. So
She does.
Yeah, she does do great work. Kitchen cabinets. At first, I thought, oh, I can't live with glass cabinets, but I've turned out I really like them. The wood. The wood is wonderful. I enjoy it very much. This is the dining room. And again, same wood. We're going to be changing this color green in the very near future. This was a porch, sleeping porch, you know, and then it was enclosed, and it appears to be enclosed probably in the 60s at some point in time. What else? Let's see.
The cabinets,
The cabinets, they're all built-ins. No, some of these have been replaced, as the library room shelves in the other room have also been replaced. That was originally the smoking room, where the gentleman would withdraw after dinner. The house has pocket doors over here so that the guest would come in and the table would be set, and then the doors would be open. Okay. The pool room, again, was the smoking room. It also has closed doors, pocket doors.
So the ladies would adjourn to the parlor,
They would adjourn to
and
the parlor, and the men would go
in.
into the smoking room.
Guess we don't do that anymore, huh?
No. I can't imagine smoking a cigar. Would you like to go upstairs?
Quick run upstairs? Yes.
In the 30s, the house had, well, actually even during the 20s when the Shoups owned the house, there were several renters from the area, or several people that were listed as living in the house. I think one of the best urban rumors about the house is it appears in the 30s during the Depression that there was something going on in the house, that the whole upstairs is just filled with telephone wires, and it's thought that it was a bookie joint of some sort. So, yeah. Now this was an add-on in here, small bedroom. We're changing this into a office. We just have no office space since we're both retired. We fight over the computer. It also was used as a boarding house, which is when that was the closet, and then they added a bathroom in there, and then they built this outside closet.
Would this be during the war years when?
During the Depression times. During probably the 30s is when that seems to have happened. And then they added the sink, so this could be rented out as a room with a bath.
I love the wood up here. The wainscoting is beautiful.
It is, and I have a wonderful woman that loves wood. She specializes in craftsman. She comes once a week and polishes wood and just does wonderful things. Cabinets. This is from Austria. We bought this one. The other built-in cabinets were always here.
I see another
we like horses.
Wooden horse here.
We do. Well, the last owners, this was the girls' bedroom. They had twin girls. So we still call it the girls' room, but we also kind of call it a fun room, too.
Those are neat windows, aren't they?
Oh, they're wonderful for air. Oh, we have air conditioning, but we've been here 3 years, and I think we've used it 4 times.
Well, I can't imagine you need it. All you have to do is open the doors, and you get the cool ocean breeze.
This, in fact, this ceiling when we moved in was covered with clouds, and that was the only thing that's been painted thus far. This one has a bathroom too. Originally, the house stopped about here, okay, and there was a deck outside, all right, and then this was also added on. So, and the bathroom's really quite modern compared to the rest of the house. It is a bathroom, but the greens, you know, it's just kind of, the colors are somewhat from the 30s, but definitely, certainly not what you would call a craftsman bathroom. But again, the Wayne, oh, excuse me, Harvey, I'm sorry, go ahead. Oops, that door is, well, thank goodness that they're all bifold doors for the most part. And
Those are nice.
This is the closet, but we have a lot of bifold doors. Cabinets are very, I like the cabinets.
You have a lot of storage, don't you?
We do, and we also have an attic upstairs. There's an attic, and we have a basement too, which manages to collect a lot of things.
This is a huge master bedroom.
We love this master bedroom. This was certainly one of the things we enjoyed the most. The sitting room. Originally, we planned on the television just being up here, but we like being downstairs. We like the outdoors. Of course, as you know, a craftsman home is designed to make you feel like you're outdoors. The large windows and the open air, bringing the outside inside. We have a deck here, all right? And right now we still have our 4th of July decorations up. We love to decorate the house.
And this is the master bath?
And this is the master bath. This is the closet. You don't need to film that.
Okay.
And you may film the bathroom. It's a closet. That's all you can say about it.
But it serves every purpose you need.
One of the things that happened to me 2 years ago is that I have a makeup mirror there, it's a very enlarging mirror. And one day we were getting ready to go down to the farmer's market down at Los Alamitos Bay. And I came up, and there was smoke coming from this bathroom. And I looked, and one of the reflecting mirrors, or one of the magnifying mirrors, had caught the sun and was burning the wainscot.
Wow.
So I have a burn spot in there that I don't know what to do. But it really, I just never had anything like that happen, and managed to tell as many people as possible, be careful of mirrors and wood.
So this is just a 3-bedroom home?
It's just 3 bedrooms, yes.
for over 3,000 square feet.
It's just about 29.75 on the square footage, okay? And that doesn't count the attic and the basement.
You know, I know some of the homes along Ocean years ago, when they had a basement, they used to have a tunnel going down to the ocean.
Really?
The Loynes house down in the next corner.
Yes.
There used to be a tunnel going all the way to the beach, and I understand during the war years they closed them off.
I didn't know that. Oh, that would be interesting to see.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I had heard that tale.
That would be something I might investigate in the basement.
You know, as Fred Bixby once said, he said, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Oh, exactly.
So
well, see, that's
maybe
kind of like, was it really a bookie place? Well, I can tell you there are an awful lot of telephone, what are they called, the old PBX boxes? I mean, it's just, we've got to get it taken out, but it's still kind of part of the color of the house.
Maybe you could have a part-time job.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go back to work. It's just too much work. The house, actually, we love the house is about the best way to say it. We kind of feel like we're the guardians now.
Do you use the balconies a lot?
I sit out there sometimes in the evening. You can watch fireworks. You can do all sorts of things. But we find it's more, well, the fact is on Gay Pride Parade, we thought we'd watch it from the balcony. Well, now we have a large party in the front yard. It's more fun to go down and join in with people. So,
and you're right across from the museum.
Yes, yes. We get to see a lot of weddings. Fact is, perhaps as time goes on, we'll learn how to be wedding crashers, okay, and have dinner.
Well, Melinda, your house is beautiful. I've thoroughly enjoyed the tour, and I want to thank you for taking me on a tour, and
well,
just
thank you very
thanks for
much.
letting us stop by.
Thank you very much for coming, Harvey. It was a pleasure to share the house with you.
Thank you.
We enjoy that very much, too. Thank you.
And don't go away. We'll be right back with more Long Beach Treasures.
Wow, look at all this great stuff, and all more than 50% off retail value. When I'm not working on my show, Extreme Makeover Home Edition, I'm out looking for bargains just like these. I'm at Habitat for Humanity, South Bay, Long Beach's new home improvement store. Profits from this store will help build safe, decent, and affordable homes in partnership with people right here in our own community. So come visit the store. You can donate your own items, improve your home, and help someone else's life at the same time. That's what I call giving to the extreme.
Hello, welcome back to Long Beach Treasures. We're now going to visit another historic site here in Long Beach. This is the lifeguard station at the foot of Cherry Avenue. And joining me is Jeff Williams. Jeff, thanks for taking time out to answer some questions for me.
Yeah, glad we could help out.
Now, is this the main lifeguard station?
This is the main lifeguard station here in the city of Long Beach.
And when did lifeguard services first start in Long Beach?
Well, lifeguards started in 1906 with the hotel staffing a lifeguard. And then the Long Beach lifeguards officially then started in 1908, separate from the hotels.
This wasn't the original location for this lifeguard station, was it?
No, it wasn't. It started at Pine Avenue Pier, at the foot of the pier there, and then it was moved when Rainbow Pier was built, and then it was moved to the foot of Rainbow Pier at Linden Avenue. And it was placed there for quite a few years before it got moved down to this location.
Now, this is a historic site, right? It has been designated by the city of Long Beach.
Yeah, in June 9th of 1981, it was declared a historic site.
You know, they used to have a lot of wooden lifeguard stations along the beach that were sort of old, beachy looking. Now they've been replaced by the portable ones. Any particular reason?
I think just over time those stations got so worn down and just the dynamics of lifeguarding's changed. You know, those stations used to be big stations and lifeguards used to stay in those stations and live there. Now it's kind of changed. The lifeguards don't live on the beach like that.
By the way, speaking of that, does anyone live here?
No. It's not 24 hours here, no.
Oh.
Yeah, so, and the other wood stations got so run down. Some of them were built date back to 1920s, so we had to replace them.
I would think the portable ones are more economical too.
Yeah, and they're just easier for us to deal with and move.
Now, I notice this is called the Dutch Miller lifeguard station. Why is that?
Well, Mr. Miller served as captain is before we had chief status. His actual title was captain quite a few years, and the Long Beach Lifeguard Association pushed at the time the Historical Association to name the building after him because of his actual stint of time as being captain, and just a lot of the stuff that he donated, his time and things that he did for the Long Beach Lifeguards.
Okay, do you have a permanent year-round lifeguards?
Yeah, we do. We staff about anywhere from 24 to 27 people year-round, including our captains.
But that doesn't, they wouldn't man the lifeguard stations along the ocean, would they?
No, our year-round lifeguards, marine safety officers, and rescue boat operators are on the beach in a vehicle and are out on a boat. Yeah, we don't sit in the actual towers. That's what our summertime.
Now, I notice in the paper at times, before summer begins, you have lifeguard tryouts.
Yeah.
Now, if someone is hired as a lifeguard, say for this season, and they want to repeat next year, do they have to go through the process again?
No, they come down and do the initial tryout, and if they make the training and go through training, and they work in the summer, they're actually guaranteed a job the next summer. But they have to do, we do a 10-hour day training. They redo their CPR and first aid and go over some of their lifeguarding skills, and then they're welcome to come back.
What are your hours of operation for lifeguards on the beach?
We operate from 8 to 8 in the summertime.
Oh, that's...
And then our rescue boats, we have a couple rescue boats that are 24 hours.
But there's someone in this lifeguard station all the time, year-round?
Yes, this station's manned year-round. This is our lifeguard headquarters, so we have a captain in the station, administrative scheduling sergeant, and MSOs work out of here.
What's the reason for most of your calls for help?
Most of our calls, we deal anything from medical aids to vessels in the swim area to swimmers in distress. But because of the bike path, we have all those medical aids. But
would you take us on a tour of your facility here?
Yeah, sure.
Show us
I'd love
what
to
it's
show
like?
you too.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You said this was originally built on stilts?
Yeah, originally this station, when they moved it here, it was up on stilts and there wasn't a lower level because of the surf could come in and go under it. But now that the break wall's here and we built a wall around it, they added a lower level. We have a weight room down there now for the guards to work out, keep in shape.
Let's go on in.
Okay, great.
You know, this wouldn't be bad duty. You get to dress casually. You have a beautiful view here. It must be nice to come to work every day.
Oh, it's great. You come to work, enjoy the ocean breeze, watch the water. Up here's our main, this is our main floor where our dispatch station over here takes place. All our calls generated come through this station. We monitor 3 radios up here, and we have 2 phones. They monitor the fire radio, the lifeguard radio, and a VHF marine radio. And then, so this is all our dispatch area. Then we have a high power set of binoculars here. We can look through and monitor the beach from the station as well.
Now, you don't get 911 calls or of any kind, do you?
We'll get them. We don't get them directly here, but the 911 calls, most 911 calls are like cell phone or generated through CHP, and then they'll call our fire, and fire will dispatch us if it comes through 911 like that.
The waves aren't very large here, are they?
No, we don't get a lot of waves because the break wall keeps the surf from coming in. But sometimes like a straight south swell, we get a pretty good. We'll get a little bit of it coming through the holes in the break wall.
Since Long Beach is a south-facing beach, does that make any difference from a beach facing a different direction for currents or waves?
Not so much for us because of the break wall, and that controls a lot of that. But
we got a minute left. Any quick thing you want to show me?
No, we can look at the rest of the floor. In the back here's the captain's office, And then we have a minute scheduling sergeant's office here. And then down below, the middle floor is our locker room facility. We have showers, and there's actually a galley down there where we can store food and cook food if we need to. And then, like I said, the lower floor, we've converted into a weight room. And our hourly guards work out the front down in that floor. And there's a medical aid room down there as well, where we can treat stingray patients and any medical aids.
Is that a major problem, stingrays?
Yeah, stingrays are a big thing here because it's flat water. And the stingrays like to come and lay in the calm, shallow water and sun their backs. And people go out and step on them. So we recommend you do the stingray shuffle. You just kind of go out, shuffle your feet out, don't step, just kind of kick sand forward and scare them away.
I remember that when I was a docent at the aquarium.
Yeah.
The stingray shuffle.
Yeah.
Are the beaches here really crowded in the summertime?
Yeah, we get pretty big crowds. The 4th of July is the big day for us, just with the fireworks show that we have here off the beach. And, you know, we get thousands of people coming out to watch the fireworks show, and it's really a big day for us. But
well, I envy you your job. It seems like it would be an interesting occupation, and I want to thank you, Jeff, for giving me a tour of your facility.
Thank you for coming down.
And don't go away. We'll be right back with more Long Beach Treasures.
Food's great. I can see 11 TVs from where I'm sitting. Great atmosphere, good service. Excellent place to come watch a game.
Lots of good sports, great television.
Football, baseball, and HD down at Smooth Sports Grill.
There's actually a nightclub Friday nights and Saturday nights. Fantastic DJ. We love coming to Smooth.
Great food. Got televisions everywhere. Nice place.
Okay, before we leave, I wanted to point out this mural, which is right in back of the lifeguard station. This is one of the most colorful murals in the city of Long Beach and one of my favorites. Those of you who have lived here for quite some time might realize that this used to be the tunnel that used to go under Ocean Boulevard, and the archway here with the heart in the middle. And that was the tunnel entrance. It has been now filled in, and the artist came back, recreated the doorway to make it look like the original mural. You know, I don't often have time to thank you for watching, and many of you say that there are certain shows you would like to see. If you would email me at longbeachtreasures@aol.com, I will be happy to see if we can fill your requests. Again, thanks for watching. It's always fun, and it's always nice when you say hello. So come back again next month as we take another walk through history and uncover more Long Beach treasures.